What It Look Like TV.
I am back! What it do, baby?
YouTube's own Varnell Hill.
Did ya miss me?
And we back with another one, y'all. And today, we're going to salute the dads, man. We're going to salute all the dads that's out there trying to do the right thing. But a lot of times it doesn't get recognized and they get a bad rap. For whatever reason, they get a bad rap. And in this, what we're going to be discussing today, we have a prime episode of that. The young lady has a pretty large TikTok following, and she tried to get on TikTok and pretty much throw her father under the bus. But surprisingly, Dad responded. And Dad's response is one of the most all-time classic internet responses that I think we got to this point so far in the internet. So let me bring the video up, and we're going to watch him break it down. And his response to her video is going to be her whole video. So we're going to watch this together, and we're going to see Dad pretty much stand his ground, and he's going to have an explanation for everything. And we're going to see how he's characterized is pretty shiesty, especially to be coming from his daughter. But let's get into the video.
Okay, I wake up at 6 a.m. to do some work. I get my coffee. I sit down. I open my computer. And what am I greeted with?
What you greeted with?
Hundreds of comments calling me a deadbeat dad, a child abandoner, and all manner of other insults. So I think, what's this all about? Well, after a few minutes of investigation, I discover that my daughter, Maddie, has made a video about me. She's a screenwriter in Hollywood. She's also a big social media influencer with millions of followers. Some of her videos get
Excuse me, she got millions of followers. Millions of followers, y'all. And go in front of your millions of followers and pretty much throw Dad underneath the bus. Dad's taking it pretty good so far, if you ask me. But let's continue on in the video.
Millions of views. And this video has tens of millions of views. 1 million likes, 20,000 comments, 40,000 bookmarks, 30,000 reposts. It's just insane. So I thought I'd better watch this video. And frankly, I was pretty chagrined by what I heard. To say
Dad is a hell of a guy. He said he was chagrined. I like this guy.
The least. But honestly, the more I watch this video, the more I like it. Well, I like about 98% of it. However, I do need to correct a few statements in the video. But first, let's just watch Maddie's 90-second video. And then I'll give you my comments.
What's a piece of trauma that you have that's funny? It has to actually be funny. I'll go first. My dad abandoned my family when I was 5 years old. That is a wife and 4 kids. He abandoned us and then pursued amateur breakdancing.
Now, before I let her proceed, that was very disingenuous. And it's disturbing that you're willing to throw your father under the bus for some likes and some clicks.
Some more context is needed here. Needless to say, I will talk about this in a moment. All right, let's continue with the video.
Once again, Dad is a hell of a guy. He just watched a video that was seen by tens of millions of people of his daughter basically accusing him of being a deadbeat dad. And this guy just let it roll right off his shoulders. And he's supposed to be the bad guy. He's supposed to be the bad guy. But let's proceed.
And he got really good. He blew up. He became a D-list celebrity status, viral.
So now she's making a joke out of it while she's giving him props, but making a joke out of him at the same time. It's sad. It's sad.
Breakdancer, he became the oldest actively competing breakdancer in the world. Then he got on Good Morning America and talk shows, and Washington Post wrote about him, and he went super viral, and he did all these interviews, and he danced with Paula Abdul. Here, I'll show you.
To see, take a look at this 60-year-old breakdancer. Yes, 60 years old. Amazing. That's Ben Hart. He's competing at a breakdancing competition in Philadelphia, and he may not have won, but I tell you what, he is winning over a lot of people on the internet. Yes. He really is. Yep. He's winning over a lot of people on the internet.
This guy wouldn't pay my medical bills.
That is not true. More on that in a minute.
See how she's trying to make a fool out of him? See how she's just actively trying to make a fool out of her dad? This breakdancing fool wouldn't pay my medical bills. Like, this guy right here is the type of father. Like, as a father, maybe it's hard for females to understand. Maybe it's hard, especially for a younger female to understand. But what you were accusing your father of, especially if he feels like he loves you and he is a real father, what you are accusing him of, it is no other thing worse that you can accuse him of. The worst thing in your mind that you could think of, that's what you're doing to him. Like, this is absolute torture. And then you put it in front of tens of millions of people while you're giggling and you're laughing like it's cute and like it's funny. It's heartless. And it shows a lot about you and the person that you are. This is heartless. This is heartless.
The worst part, damn it, he's good. He should not be able to move his body like that. It's like impossible. It's beautiful.
I'll go back to
Hey, Dad.
Thank you, Maddie.
Like, there was no split custody or anything. Like, he just like left 4 kids to do that. He may not have paid for some of my medical bills growing up, but he did give me this breakdancing merchandise. So that's him.
He didn't pay my medical bills, but he did give me this t-shirt. Remember that, y'all. He didn't pay her medical bills, but he gave her this t-shirt. And for my younger people that's watching this video, let this be a lesson to you. Let this watch to the end, please, if you are younger. And let this video be a lesson to you. Because a lot of young people talk nowadays. Y'all talk and y'all got it all figured out and y'all know everything. But you only know what you was told. And that's an important piece of the puzzle. You only know what you were told, or you only know what you observed. You don't know the full puzzle. But let's continue on while she continues to make a fool out of herself. Remember, he wouldn't pay her medical bills, but he gave her that t-shirt. That stank old t-shirt of him breakdancing. That's what he gave her instead of medical bills.
That is a nice shirt.
It's his b-boy name because his name is Ben Hart. You know, I'll get texts like this, "Happy birthday?" ? And then like links to his breakdancing video.
That's true.
If you have funny trauma, like actual funny haha trauma, I need to hear it. Thank you.
Okay, in many ways I love this video.
Okay, let's hear
And
that.
of course, I love my daughter Maddie. And we get along great. At least I think we do. But a few corrections are in order, or at least a few things that need to be put in context. First, I can see that as a 5-year-old, Maddie would see her dad as having abandoned the family. One day I was living there, the next day I wasn't. And that will look like abandonment to a child. But married couples do get divorced about half the time in America. And I was just living a mile or so down the street in LaGrange, Illinois.
Okay, now with that explained, Dad is still, even though you threw this man under the bus in front of tens of millions of people, he's still approaching you as gracious as a father could approach you. And talking to you and treating you like you're 6, 7 years old, basically saying the observations that you should have made yourself by now. But what I'm gathering from what he's going to say and from what you said, that Dad isn't the problem. Somebody else in your life is the problem. And by the end of this video, y'all probably come to the same conclusion that I come to, because it's a lot missing. But let's let Dad continue on.
Just weren't living under the same roof. Now, about not paying medical bills, that's just not correct. Here was the financial arrangement of the divorce.
Okay, this is why I was telling you young folks, fall back. You only know what you observed, or what you think you overheard, or what you think you know. You know nothing actually. Now let's let Dad break down exactly who paid what and what was going on with these medical bills that supposedly didn't get paid. Let's figure this out right now.
Maddie's mom, my ex-wife, got $2 million at the get-go.
Did y'all hear that? Maddie's mom, his ex-wife, got $2 million. $2 million from the get-go. $2 million.
The gate, a lump sum payment. Plus, I was paying her $18,000 per month in child support and alimony. This was later reduced to $12,000 per month. And of course, I paid health insurance and out-of-pocket medical costs.
$2 million lump sum. Then we go to $18,000 a month for several years. Then when y'all hit y'all teenage years, it gets dropped back to $12,000 a month. He paid the medical bills, he paid the light bills, he paid the gas bills, he paid every bill that it was in your life. And to sacrifice all that, play fair ball to that extent, to turn around and years later, your kids try to peg you in front of millions of people as a deadbeat dad. But, you so thorough of a guy that you can even respond with class, fortitude, and respect for your daughter. But yet you are the bad guy. Come on, y'all, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Y'all gonna have soon, nobody's gonna want to be a father, because this job, just to the younger people looking up, is as thankless and just a waste of time as can be. This man made sure the whole family was set when he had to leave, and he's still a deadbeat when it's all said and done. But let's let him continue.
I also put $600,000 into the kids' college fund. In all, I paid out about $5 million to my ex-wife to cover costs for her and the kids.
Can you imagine paying over $5 million to make sure everybody's straight? And look at where he living and how he living right now. Do he look like he in a $5 million environment? Can you imagine basically doing all that work to make sure everybody's straight, and when it's all said and done, somebody gonna have the nerve to tell you about some doctor's bills? I feel for this man, but I'm proud of him, and I want to find the fortitude in myself to be able to respond to situations the way he responded to this one, because he taking this like a champ.
And this is in 2005 dollars. So add 50% to account for inflation. In other words, I was not a deadbeat dad at all. And by the way, Maddie did not say that in her video, but a lot of the comments assume that and say that. Now, of course,
once again, nice guy in it. She ain't have to say it, fam. She implied it. She edged everybody right into that corner, and that's what she implied, basically. Because her trauma and her life that she could laugh about was having you. And you ain't trauma, fam. The situation that you and your wife may have went through may have been trauma to your daughter, but what I'm hearing is somebody didn't let the kids know how much their dad was doing. And somebody was pegging you as the bad guy. And it wasn't none of your kids. It wasn't none of your kids. So on top of having a person that, even though things didn't work out with you and them, you wanted to make sure that they was right because they had your kids and so forth and so on, they still turned around and stuck a knife in your back. And this guy still finds a way to smile. But he's the bad guy.
There's no way for Maddie to know how much I was paying because she was a kid. This wasn't something I talked about. Also, remember that I was living 1 mile down the road from the kid.
Hold on. I feel you, boss, that you didn't have a conversation with your daughter but you shouldn't have had to. When you give somebody a $2 million lump sum payment straight up, your wife, even though it was your ex-wife, she was supposed to let them kids know that dad is still here and dad is making sure, even if she hated your guts, there's no way that them kids grew up and they didn't know that mom was thoroughly being taken care of because dad is paying this much money per month. Like, this is crazy. Like, you're taking the nice guy stuff to a whole new level, fam. Some of this stuff is just straight disrespectful towards you.
in LaGrange, Illinois. Sidewalks all the way. An easy walk or bike ride. I saw the kids all the time. No abandonment, just a divorce. Was I at fault in the divorce? Yeah, I would say I was about 70% at fault. I own that.
Once again, proving that he a thorough dude. Was he at fault? He didn't flinch at all. He took full responsibility for his part in it, for more than, you know what I mean, the lion's share of the dissension in the relationship. Once again, but he's supposed to be the bad guy. But this guy's just showing that he a pretty thorough guy. And he a likable guy on top of it. Now this makes me feel sad for the daughter and possibly the other children involved. Because y'all got a pretty cool dad. But obviously y'all ain't take time to get to know this guy because somebody pretty much influenced you not to. And I'm not going to say who, but y'all could put two and two together.
Maddie's mom and I were really not compatible in many ways. We were compatible in some ways, but not in other ways. Do I regret marrying Maddie's mom? No, absolutely not. If I had not married Maddie's mom, Maddie and her 3 siblings would not have been born. They would not have existed. The kids have turned out great. Maddie graduated from Northwestern University and is a screenwriter in Hollywood. Maddie's older sister Tori is a partner at a hedge fund on Wall Street, and she's getting rich. Maddie's younger sister Olivia just graduated from college and is teaching English to first graders in Thailand. Her older brother Peter is getting a master's degree in psychology. I get along great with all my kids, including Maddie.
Yeah, that $5 million is going to good use. That $5 million put everybody in position to chase their dreams. He got everybody chasing their dreams, but he's the bad guy.
At least I think I do. So the kids are doing just fine despite Dad's many shortcomings. One other slight correction, which I hesitate to even bring up because I love the way Maddie did this in her video. I did not abandon the family for breakdancing.
Now listen to this gross mischaracterization. This was horrible. This was where you could tell that her intentions was just to try to make her father look like a fool. Listen to the way she spun this lie.
I have a career. I'm in the advertising business, built an ad agency. That's how I was able to afford to pay Maddie's mom $5 million. Maddie's mom and I separated in 2004 and divorced in 2005. I took up breakdancing entirely by accident in 2012 as a way to get in shape at the age of 54. I then just kept doing it. I'm now age 66. Now some of you might be wondering, can he still breakdance at age 66? Well, I don't know. Let's see. I'll give it a try.
But before we look at my man breakdance real fast, did y'all peep that? It was a 7-year gap in there between the divorce and when he started breakdancing. So for her to say that he left his wife and 4 kids to go be a professional breakdancer and he didn't even start breakdancing until 7 years after the divorce, come on. Come on, the years can't be that fuzzy in your mind. It was just the advertising agency. You didn't have nothing exciting to talk about that, so you had to throw him under the bus with the breakdancing. That was horrible. And that kind of pretty much shows your intentions. But let's let Dad pretty much finish his little spiel off and show y'all.
Okay, Maddie, let's see how the old man does.
That's breakdancing too. And on that note, we're going to chop it up and we're going to slide back over. But to me, that was very, very, very interesting. And I think the dad handled it like a true champ, man. Handled it like a true champ. Because obviously what happened and what's happening is you're not getting the full story about how thorough your dad is from the other people in your life. And obviously Dad possibly could be doing better to remember birthdays and things like that. But if he's running an advertising agency and a successful advertising agency that's bringing in the amount of money that he's bringing in, possibly y'all can help Dad a little bit. Remember that. We all have our weak points, and that might just be that man's weak point. But when you make sure wifey got $2 million automatically when you split, and you're giving her $18,000 a month for several years, and then $12,000, you was trying to make sure your wife and your kids was set and things was comfortable. And for anybody to turn around after the fact and try to make it seem like that wasn't the play, it's pretty much disrespectful. But I ran my mouth long enough on this one. What I'm going to need y'all to do is I'm going to need y'all to get down in the comment section and tell me how y'all feel about this one too. If you'd have made it to this point in the video, you are my MVP.
It was a stone groove, my man.
I'm out of here.